If you're a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility and your machinery isn't working right, Grainger knows you need to understand what's wrong as soon as possible. So when a conveyor motor falters, Grainger offers diagnostic tools like calibration kits and multimeters to help you identify and fix the problem. With Grainger, you can be confident you have everything you need to keep your facility running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, so today we're going deep, really deep, on something that you'd think would be pretty straightforward.
Yeah, you'd think so, right?
I mean, we're talking about, being born in America.
Yeah.
Like where you're born. You'd think that would be a simple thing.
You're born here, you're American.
Exactly. Supposedly.
Well, that's the whole thing about birthright citizenship, which is what we're diving into today.
And it's not as cut and dried as you'd think.
Oh, not at all. We're talking about the idea that if you're born on U.S. soil, boom, you're a citizen. Doesn't matter where your parents are from, what their status is.
Right, it's automatic.
Automatic, based on the 14th Amendment, but who boy has that been challenged and debated?
It's become a real hot-button issue, especially over the last, decade or so.
Definitely. So we've been looking into some writings on this, to get a better handle on things.
Right.
And we've got this excerpt, pasted text, really digs into it, all the history, the legal fights, the politics.
All the good stuff. So where do we even start? I mean, the 14th Amendment, it's like Civil War era stuff.
Yeah, 1868.
Right.
Right after the Civil War. And, it was all about granting citizenship to formerly enslaved people and their descendants. Makes sense in that context.
Right. So like a fresh start.
Totally.
A new beginning for the nation and for the people who had been denied basic rights for so long.
Exactly. But see, the wording of the Citizenship Clause itself, it says, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof.
Okay, subject to the jurisdiction thereof.
Are citizens, and that's where the interpretation comes in, especially with children of non-citizens.
Right, because if you're born here...
You're subject to U.S. jurisdiction.
Right, okay, so the courts have consistently upheld this, haven't they? Like the broad interpretation.
Yeah, they have. Pretty much said that if you're born in the U.S., you're a citizen. Doesn't matter about the parent's status.
Even if they're like undocumented.
Even then, there's a great example of this. Judge John C. Koffner, he's a federal judge, has actually defended this interpretation in court, saying it's pretty clear-cut.
Huh. Clear as mud, as they say.
Right.
But then, of course, you've got, the whole Donald Trump era. He really kicked this up a notch.
Yeah, he wanted to end birthright citizenship by executive order.
Just like that.
Well, he argued that it was unfair. I mean, his reasoning was that, giving citizenship to kids of undocumented immigrants, especially those here on temporary visas, like H-1B workers.
People coming here for work, highly skilled usually.
Exactly, that it was harmful to national interests.
And did that spark a lot of, legal debate?
Immediate backlash. I mean, think about it. You've got this right that's been enshrined in the Constitution for over a century.
Right.
And most legal scholars, they agree that to change birthright citizenship, you'd need either a constitutional amendment or a Supreme Court ruling.
Can't just wave a magic wand and poof, it's gone.
Exactly. It became a huge debate, especially online. I remember seeing tons of threads on Reddit about it, just arguing about whether it was even legal, let alone ethical.
So is this just a U.S. thing, this whole birthright citizenship idea?
It's actually not that common globally. It's called jus soli, which is Latin for right of the soil.
Fancy.
It is. And the U.S., Canada, a bunch of Latin American countries, they grant it. But a lot of Europe, like the U.K. and many others, they've moved away from it.
Really?
Yeah, they require at least one parent to be a citizen or a permanent resident for the child to get citizenship automatically.
Huh. That's interesting. It's like we're clinging to this old idea while the rest of the world is...
modernizing.
Yeah, maybe. So I guess the big question is, why the difference? Why do some countries stick with birthright citizenship while others move away?
Well, a couple of things. Some countries, they've seen huge waves of immigration in recent years, and they worry that jus soli acts like a magnet,
Encourages people to come here, maybe even illegally, so their kids can be citizens.
Exactly. Plus, some places, like in Europe, they want to have similar laws across the board. Like if you're in the EU, you've got consistent rules.
Makes sense. So you've got to wonder, right? I mean, the 14th Amendment, it's from a different time, a different America.
Absolutely. It was ratified just after the Civil War when the country was redefining itself. And the main goal was to protect formerly enslaved people.
Give them full rights.
Exactly. So the context was completely different.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean it's not relevant today. I mean, have there been legal challenges? like in recent times?
Oh, tons. People trying to reinterpret the 14th Amendment or limit it so it doesn't apply to kids of non-citizens.
Any examples?
Yeah, there was this one case, a bunch of kids born in the U.S., but their parents were undocumented, and the lawsuit argued that these kids, they weren't actually subject to U.S. jurisdiction at birth.
Whoa, hold on. They're born here.
I know, right? But the argument was that because their parents were here illegally.
It somehow nullified their birthright citizenship?
Yeah, that was the claim.
So what happened?
The courts threw it out. Said the 14th Amendment is pretty clear. Born on U.S. soil, you're a citizen. Case closed.
Wow. So much for that argument.
Right. But it shows you how much this issue is contested.
Definitely. And it's not just in the courts. This whole birthright citizenship thing has become a real political football.
Totally. You see it all the time.
Yeah. Democrats often seem to be in favor, saying it's core to American values, equality, inclusion, all that.
Right. But then you have some Republicans who see it as a loophole. Like, it's encouraging illegal immigration. They want to reform it.
Tie it into the whole immigration control debate.
Exactly. So it's not just about legal technicalities. It's about, like, different visions of what it means to be American.
It's about belonging.
Exactly. And that's where the human side of this comes in, like Usha Vance, you know?
Senator Vance's wife.
Yeah, she's an immigrant herself, and she's talked about how tough it is for immigrant families, all the stress and uncertainty around these laws.
That's going to be tough. I mean, imagine not knowing if your kids are really secure here.
It adds a whole other layer of complexity to the debate. Makes it more than just a legal or political argument.
Definitely. So I guess what we're seeing is that birthright citizenship, it's not just some dusty old law.
Right. It's tied up with everything about America.
Identity, who belongs, what it means to be a citizen.
And whether that still holds true in a country that's constantly changing, it's something we all have to think about.
Big questions, no easy answers. Well, that was quite a deep dive. Hopefully folks listening will have something to chew on after this and maybe do some exploring of their own. This is a conversation that needs to happen. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.